If you've ever turned the heater knob all the way up on a freezing morning and felt nothing but icy air, this video is for you. No heat in your car feels like something is seriously broken, expensive, or complicated. But here's the truth, most mechanics won't tell you up front. The majority of no heat problems come from a small handful of issues, and many of them are surprisingly simple to diagnose. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why your car has no heat, how to narrow it down step by step, and which fixes are cheap, easy, and worth trying before you panic. Let's start with the biggest misconception. A car heater is not a separate system. It doesn't create heat. It steals heat from your engine. If your engine is warming up normally but the cabin stays cold, something is blocking that heat from reaching you. That's the mindset you need to fix this problem fast. The first thing to check is your coolant level. This sounds boring, but it's the #1 cause of no heat, especially when everything else seems fine. Your heater relies on hot coolant flowing through a small radiator called the heater core. If the coolant level is low, there simply isn't enough hot fluid reaching it. Many enthusiasts point out that you can lose cabin heat long before your temperature gauge shows anything scary. That's because the heater core sits higher than many other parts of the cooling system, so it's often the first thing to get starved of coolant. When the engine is completely cold, open the hood and check the coolant reservoir. If it's low or empty, that's a red flag. Top it up with the correct coolant, start the engine, and see if the heat comes back after a few minutes. If it does, you've found the problem, but don't stop there. Low coolant usually means a leak somewhere, even a slow one. Keep an eye on the level over the next few days. If the coolant level is fine, the next suspect is air trapped in the cooling system. This happens more often than people realize, especially after a coolant change or minor repair. Air pockets can block hot coolant from flowing into the heater core, leaving you with cold air no matter how hot the engine gets. Car forums are full of stories where the fix was simply bleeding the cooling system properly. Symptoms of air in the system include heat that comes and goes, heat only when revving the engine, or heat on one side of the cabin but not the other. Bleeding procedures vary by car, but the concept is the same. You're letting trapped air escape so coolant can circulate fully. Once the air is out, heat often returns instantly, which feels like magic if you didn't know this was a thing. If bleeding doesn't help, let's talk about the thermostat. The thermostat controls when coolant flows through the engine and radiator. If it's stuck open, the engine never gets hot enough, especially in cold weather. That means lukewarm or completely cold air from the heater. This is one of those failures that doesn't always trigger a warning light, which makes it sneaky. A classic sign of a stuck open thermostat is an engine that takes forever to warm up or a temperature gauge that never reaches the normal middle position. Enthusiasts often describe it as the car running cold. Replacing a thermostat is usually inexpensive and can dramatically improve both cabin heat and fuel efficiency. Now, let's move inside the car, because sometimes the engine is doing everything right, but the heat never makes it into the cabin. This is where blend doors come into play. Blend doors are small flaps inside the dashboard that direct air either through the heater core or around it. When you turn the temperature knob, you're actually telling these doors to move. If a blend door actuator fails, the door can get stuck in the cold position. That means even though hot coolant is flowing, the air never passes over it. Common signs include clicking noises behind the dashboard, temperature stuck on cold no matter what you select, or heat on one side and cold on the other in dual zone systems. This is a very common problem on modern cars, and while the repair can range from simple to frustrating, diagnosing it is half the battle. Another overlooked cause is the heater control valve. Not all cars have one, but when they do, it's critical. This valve controls coolant flow into the heater core. If it's stuck closed, the heater core never gets hot. From the outside, the car looks fine. The engine temperature is normal, but inside, it's freezing. Checking this usually involves feeling the heater hoses under the hood. If one hose is hot and the other is cold, coolant isn't flowing through the heater core properly. Speaking of heater hoses, let's talk about clogged heater cores. This is more common on older cars or vehicles that haven't had regular coolant changes. Over time, debris, rust, and sludge can build up inside the heater core, restricting flow. The result is weak or non-existent heat. Many experienced DIY mechanics will tell you this fix transformed their car in minutes. A clogged heater core often shows up as one hot heater hose and one noticeably cooler hose. In some cases, you can flush the heater core and restore full heat without replacing anything. It's messy, but it's far cheaper than tearing apart the dashboard for a replacement. Now, here's a scenario that confuses a lot of people. The car has heat, but only when driving, and it goes cold at idle. This usually points to low coolant, air in the system, or a weak water pump. At idle, coolant flow is slower. When you start driving, RPMs increase, flow improves, and suddenly you get heat again. This pattern is a huge clue and helps narrow the problem fast. Let's also address the obvious but often ignored setting issues. Modern climate control systems can override manual inputs without you realizing it. Automatic climate modes, eco settings, or dual zone controls can all create situations where the system is technically working, but not how you expect. Before tearing anything apart, make sure the system is actually set to full heat, manual mode, and proper vent selection. Another underrated factor is the cabin air filter. While it won't directly cause no heat, a severely clogged filter can make it feel like the heater isn't working at all. Airflow becomes so weak that even hot air barely reaches you. Replacing a cabin filter is one of the cheapest and fastest maintenance tasks, and the improvement can be immediate. Let's be clear about one thing. If your engine is overheating and you also have no heat, stop driving the car. The heater actually acts as a secondary radiator. Losing heat in the cabin while overheating is a sign of serious coolant flow issues. Fixing the heater may also save your engine. At this point, you should be able to categorize your problem into one of three buckets. Either heat isn't being generated properly, heat isn't reaching the heater core, or heat isn't being directed into the cabin. Once you know which category you're in, the fix becomes much less intimidating. Car enthusiasts often say the best diagnostic tool is observation. How long does the engine take to warm up? Do the heater hoses feel hot? Does changing fan speed or temperature settings change anything at all? These small details matter more than throwing parts at the problem. Here's the big takeaway. No heat doesn't automatically mean a massive repair bill. In many cases, it's low coolant, trapped air, a thermostat, or a simple control issue. These are fixes that people successfully do in their driveway every day. Even when the issue is more complex, understanding it puts you in control and helps you avoid unnecessary repairs. If this video saved you from freezing on your next drive, you already won. Cars communicate through symptoms. Once you know how to listen, problems like no heat stop being mysteries and start being solvable puzzles.